Hello, tonight we are having a ham and cheese omelet roll for dinner. So it's breakfast for dinner at our house tonight. I've got 12 eggs in the classic batter bowl. Here I've got 4 ounces of cream cheese. Just soften it in the microwave for like 25 minutes or so. So we're gonna start with the cream cheese first. It's really important that it is softened so that when you go to whisk it, it's nice and smooth. So to this we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of flour. I'm using a gluten-free flour tonight. I like to add the flour first because then when I add the milk, it'll whisk in nicely. So you're gonna add the milk slowly. If you put it all in at once, it's gonna be all clumpy and you don't want that. So just add a little bit and then we'll just kind of whisk it in. Be patient with it because it just takes a little bit of time. And then you can slowly add more. There we go. It's coming together. Sometimes it gets a little bit stuck in your whisk, and that's okay. Just knock it out. When it bakes, it will melt. So if you do have some chunks of cream cheese that are in there, don't worry about it. It'll be okay by the time we're all done. All right, so this milk mixture is finished. And then let's go ahead and whip up these eggs. And then we're gonna combine the two, and that's gonna be the base for our omelet roll. What I love about this recipe is that it's perfect for a crowd. It's great for dinner. It looks a little fancier, and it serves really well too. All right, so the eggs are pretty well mixed. Just wanna make sure that it's well blended. I see a couple more in there. Okay. And now we're just going to combine the two, and that is going to be a nice, rich omelet. It's creamy. Now the recipe calls for salt. I'm going to skip it. We've got ham in this recipe. We've got cheese in this recipe. And for my taste, I think that's plenty salty. So I am going to skip the salt. If you like it, sure, go for it. Okay, so let's talk about the bar pan. This is a large bar pan. It's the shape of it, or the size of it, is like a jelly roll pan. Okay, so you can kind of see. We need parchment paper in here. So you want the parchment, go ahead and pleat the edges. It'll help it stay up straight. And that's gonna make it easy to roll when we're finished. If you don't use parchment paper for this, you're not gonna be able to roll it. So this is gonna look like a jelly roll when we're finished. There we go. All right, and I see some specks of cream cheese, totally fine. I've got the oven preheated at 375. I'm gonna bake it for about a half an hour until it's set, and then we'll go ahead and add the remaining ingredients. Hey, I'm ready to put together this ham and cheese omelet roll for dinner. Let me show you what I've done. This just came out of the oven. I had 12 eggs, whipped them up, added 4 ounces of cream cheese, 2 tablespoons of flour, and 3/4 of a cup of milk. We're all mixed up into that egg mixture. It's been baking in the stoneware bar pan it took about 27 minutes. The recipe says 30 to 33 minutes, so check your oven, but I knew it was done when I touched it and it sort of bounced back and the edges are kind of golden. So let's put this together. This is a fantastic recipe for breakfast for dinner, or if you are going to be gathering family for brunch or something like that. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and take it out of the bar pan. So it's hot, right? Because it just came out of the oven. Just take your mitts and then slip that paper right out. And I will set the bar pan over here. So while it's still hot, we need to get all of the fillings in there. I love this because it has typical omelet fillings with a couple different ones. We start first with 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. Don't substitute yellow mustard for this. It's not gonna taste good. So just pop it on there. And I'm gonna go ahead and just spread it, and it's not very much, so you definitely want to measure it and not just squirt your mustard all over the top, because if you have too much, it's gonna be overly salty and it won't have that flavor that you are looking for. So just a little bit, and if you're not a mustard fan, you could skip this, or if you don't have it, you can skip it. I think it tastes really good though. Okay, next we've got some cheese. So you can do Swiss or cheddar. I prefer cheddar, so I'm gonna do that tonight. put half of it on your egg, and we are gonna save the other half for the rest later on. Okay, we've got some ham. I'm just using deli ham. You need half a pound. You can chop it up with your food chopper. I just took a knife, so I've got it all right here. Let me show you what I've got. So I've got some ham, some leftover caramelized onions I had from dinner a couple nights ago. I just chopped those up, and some green onion. So you're just gonna basically sprinkle it all over the top. If you wanna make this vegetarian, skip the ham. Think of other toppings. I don't know what you guys like in your omelets. Maybe some sauteed mushrooms, maybe sausage or bacon, or just stick with veggie. Okay, so we've got that nice even layer. Go right to the edges because this is gonna be rolled up like a jelly roll. So you wanna make sure whoever's getting those end pieces actually gets the goodness in there. We'll get the onions kind of sprinkled throughout, and then save a few of the green onions for garnish. All right, and I am adding another ingredient. This is not called for, but oh my gosh, it's so good. Green chili. So I'm just gonna use my fingers and sprinkle them on here. I love green chilies in omelets, and these are just canned ones. Get the ones that are already chopped or chop them up yourself. If you don't like spicy, skip this. These are kind of mild, so they're not necessarily spicy anyway. And then I'll grab more cheese for the top here. Doesn't this look good? Do you think your families would enjoy this? Save a little bit of cheese for garnish. And now we're ready to roll it up. So let me give my fingers a quick rinse here. So you're gonna use that parchment paper to help you with rolling it. So watch this. So you're just gonna pick it up, and you're going to start to, as you're picking it up, it lets you curl forward. I used to make this at in-home Pampered Chef parties many, many years ago, and it was always such a hit. So as you're rolling, keep lifting this paper, and it will help you get a nice tight roll. It is hot, so you want to be careful. And there we go. And then you can take that paper and kind of form it like this. All right, I've got a platter. We're just gonna move it to the platter. When you slice it, it's gonna have beautiful spirals. So let's pick this up, we'll move it to the platter. It's such an impressive recipe, and there's really not much to it. So let's see here, you can kind of see that end, kind of like, you know, a jelly roll. My mom used to make those when we were kids. I haven't had a jelly roll in forever. Maybe I should make one, I don't know. Okay, and then we've got the rest of those green onions. Sprinkle over the top. And there you've got it. So let it sit now for about 5 minutes so that cheese can get kind of melty. And then when you slice, you can slice on the diagonal if you want to, or just slice straight on. This would feed, it's 12 eggs. So I say it's about 6 servings, depending on how much you like. So give it a try the next time you have a family gathering, or you want to make something fun for breakfast, for dinner. Thanks for joining me. I hope you'll try it.